So the Moi Stadium in Embu is done, changing rooms are ongoing.
CS, please finish.
Yes, Madam Speaker, I have finished the supplementary questions that arose from the floor. Because away from the first question, we had an official statement. We also decided to respond on the ones that have come from the floor. Thank you.
Honorable Senators, we're moving to the next question. I have ruled. Which one? Please give Senator Q the floor.
Madam Speaker, my question was very specific, and it was actually arising from water. The minister said that they have cut down on the size of the stadium. And I asked, what is going to be the new capacity of that stadium? And has that had an impact on the budget from the original design?
Senator Methu, which bit has not been answered?
Yes, you know, the minister has just said what I've said. He has told us that the stadium has been handed over to the Ministry of Defense. That is what I said. He has said that the stadium has been advertised. That is what I have said. I asked him, what timelines are there? As you handed over to the Olokau Stadium to the Ministry of Defense, what timelines are you working with? When can that stadium be ready? That was a very specific question.
Mr. Speaker, allow me to restate my points as follows. Number one, I said the new capacity in Wote will be 5,000. And I also said that we will identify a new ground where we will do a bigger stadium of 15,000 capacity. I also said in Nyandarua, Olkalau has been advertised by the Minister of Defense, and that size of stadium takes about 12 months to complete. Maybe I should also add as additional information that Kitui is now 15% of implementation and is going to be handed over to us by the contractor on the 6th of October for Mashujaa celebrations.
Thank you, Honorable Sears. Honorable Senators, we will now move to question number 067 by Senator Joyce Korir. And I'm informed that Senator Miraj is going to ask that question on behalf of Senator Joyce Korir. Honorable Miraj, you may proceed to ask the question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Could the Cabinet Secretary provide details of the specific government programs and initiatives in place to promote mental health and overall well-being of young people in Kenya, and explain how these initiatives have been tailored to address individual challenges faced by the youth? B, what measures has the ministry put in place to address the increasing mental health challenges like anxiety and depression among the young people, and most likely those participating in sports or arts programs? C, what approaches are being implemented to incorporate mental health support into youth-oriented sports and arts programs, and how can they access these services? D, are there any joint initiatives between the ministry and the Ministry of Health and other mental health organizations aimed to raise awareness on mental health issues faced by the youth, and if so, could the Cabinet Secretary highlight them? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable CS, you may now proceed to respond.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker and members of the Senate. Mental health is a state of well-being in which the individual realizes his or her
Honorable
own...
CS, just to save on time, start from page 3 with the last paragraph, so that we go direct to the question.
Okay, fine. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for the guidance. The Ministry of Youth Affairs, Creative Economy and Sports, in collaboration with key stakeholders, has rolled out several programs aimed at promoting mental health and overall well-being among young people, particularly those engaged in sports and the creative economy. These measures include, number one, the establishment of youth safe spaces within the operational youth empowerment centers, which offers mental health, therapeutic services, amongst other related matters, such as sexual reproductive health. The ministry has a program and the initiative of leveraging on technology to offer counseling services to the youth through utilization of an online counseling application developed by the youth, Kelvin Joroge. This intervention is preferred by the youth for the reasons that if used, it is easy, convenient, confidential, cheap, and accessible from a personal phone. This initiative has since seen increases in the number of the youth accessing counseling services, which help to mitigate mental health challenges. Through collaboration between the Ministry and International Youth Fellowship, Korea International NGO with presence in 105 countries worldwide, currently based at Kasarani and operates satellite campuses across the country, offers mindset changes training which integrates mental health clinic through weekend academy program. Through Kikao initiative and outreach activity in which the ministry, in collaboration with other MDS, organizes sensitization programs where mobile health clinics are organized for the youth. The ministry, through State Department for Youth Affairs and Creative Economy, has lined up a myriad of collaborative program with Madari Hospital, Youth in College, JQuat, to offer mental health sensitization, screening and referral to the youth in college who may not wish to use the in-college counseling facilities. National events like the Kenya Youth Inter-County Sports and Cultural Association Games. Number two, mobile counseling units. In partnership with the NGOs, the ministry has deployed mobile mental health units to reach young people in remote areas during sports and arts events. Number three, access channels. Youth can access mental health services through referrals from coaches and youth officers, direct contact with on-site counseling during events, toll-free mental health helplines. The other part of the question, the National Multisectoral Mental Health Action Plan 2021-2025, the ministry is a key partner in implementing the plan, which is led by the Minister of Health. It prioritizes youth mental health through joint campaigns and community outreach programs. Number two, collaborative awareness campaigns, joint initiatives with organizations like Basic Needs Kenya and the National Authority for the Campaign Against Alcohol and Drug Abuse, NACADA, focus on mental health awareness during sports tournaments, training peer education in mental health literacy. Number three, National Sports Safety Framework, developed with input from the Ministry of Health. This framework includes mental health as a critical component of athlete safety and wellness. And finally, specific campaigns, Mind Your Youth, our youth campaign. This is a joint program promoting mental health awareness in schools and community sports hubs. I beg to submit, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Honorable Miraj, you may ask your 2 supplementary questions.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, and I'd like to thank the CS for a well-elaborate feedback from the questions by Senator Joyce Korir. But for the supplementary, if I may put to his attention, due to the so many land grabbing issues from our region, so many youth facilities, especially the ground.
Which is your region, Honorable Miraj?
Coast region.
You have to state which is your region.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. From the coast region, we have grounds like Kishada in Kisauni, Mende in Likoni, and Vexula in Likoni, where land grabbers are taking away the grounds from the youths. And this is increasingly adding up the numbers of our youths who are mentally unstable right now. You've spoken to a matter of sports in our schools to help in curbing the mental crisis that we are having from our youths. Can I put to your attention, CS, that most of the schools do not have playgrounds for them to go for sports? I don't know what measures you are taking, because as much as I can remember is that the president had put a task force and a fund to repossess grab land from the land grabbers. As a ministry and mental health in the picture, what are the measures you are going to take to safeguard the grounds that are being affected by major infrastructural programs by government and the land grabbers in our region? Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Honorable CS, you may respond.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I want to say that I acknowledge the question that has been put to me by Senator Miraji on matters land. And what we are doing as a ministry, we are working very closely with county governments, with the Minister of Land, and also with Minister of Education, where schools are concerned, to ensure that, one, the grabbed land is repossessed, and number two, to also protect other pieces of land from land grabbers. So that is the effort that we are doing. And part of the program that we are doing on sports academies is part of that program, where once we identify a place where we are doing an academy in a school, we also work with the other agencies to ensure that land is reclaimed, repossessed, and protected from grabbing. So we are working with other agencies of government on that matter.
Senator Catherine Muma.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity to ask the CS a question. Thank you, CS, for your elaborate response to Senator Korir's question. Honorable CS, what you said sounds so good, but I would want to know where it is actually being implemented. In particular, I would want to know what programs you have in Nyakach sub-county, where I have been for the last 1 month. Honorable CS Nyakach in 2023 had teen and child pregnancy to the extent of 3,816. We have child mothers, we have young boys with a lot of mental health. We don't have any programs in that sub-county community. We don't even have any interventions. I'm trying to work with one CBO, trying to intervene for child mothers who cannot access counseling services and so on. Where are these programs, and why are they not reaching Nyakach sub-county?
Senator Gataya.
Honorable Speaker, I have a supplementary question to the CS Sports concerning a stadium in Tharaka Nithi.
Honorable Gataya, kindly take your seat.
What is it, Honorable Speaker?
Just take your seat. Just take your seat. Senator Manzo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I had an opportunity to be a secretary in the Ministry of Youth and Sports. And I want to ask the Cabinet Secretary in this relation to the mental illness of young people, the youth fund was set to help those who wanted to set up businesses so that they can self-employ themselves. I've seen an initiative whereby people are fundraising for the youth. What has happened to the youth fund? And now implementing it to make sure that we reduce mental illness or depression or stress of young people by making sure that they secure their future through self-employment.
Senator Veronica Maina.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and welcome CS together with the PS of Sport. My question is in regard to promotion of mental health among the youth, and I would want to know what measures and efforts the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Creative Economy and Sports have put in place to facilitate conversation and dialogues to reconcile the emerging issues that have been raised by the youths who have been very dissatisfied and have been demonstrating, using the medium of sports and creative economy to enhance intergenerational conversations. What measures is your ministry putting in place to intervene with the emerging issues that are affecting the youths as they demonstrate on the streets?
Senator Wambua.
Speaker, I sought this opportunity to clarify an issue because this is a house of record. The CS has indicated to us in the previous question that Kitui Stadium is being renovated.
Senator Wambua.
Mr. Speaker, this is important.
Senator, however important it is, we have our rules.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
And
But the people of Kitui are online.
Senator Wambua.
And they are saying the stadium is not being renovated, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Wambua, you had an opportunity. I gave you an opportunity.
Yes, but he responded to when he responded to the Speaker.
We have dealt with our question. We are now on the question of mental health.
Mr. Speaker.
Anything that is not related to mental health
Mr. Speaker, it is the same ministry.
Seen. Take your seat, Honorable Senator.
Mr. Speaker, I'm here because
Senator Wambua, you're defying the ruling of the Speaker, and you know the consequences. Senator Wambua, Senator Wambua, Senator Wambua.
the stadium is not being renovated, that's the truth. What is being renovated is the state lodge, where the president will spend the night, and the other thing being renovated.
Senator Reche, you may proceed. Senator Murgo, you may proceed.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. I would like to know from the CS as to what measures the ministry is taking towards drug use among the youth that is enhancing mental problems and so on, and therefore creating difficulty when it comes to talents and so on.
Senator Kavindu.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just wanted to know from the CS what is doing in Machakos about mental health in youth, regards youth. Are you having any programs in Machakos in particular, and also dealing with drugs addiction in those areas with youth? Thank you.
Senator Mandago.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, my question to the CS is, the programs he has said they are running, unfortunately, we have not heard about them in the counties, Honorable Speaker. What is the CS doing and the ministry doing to ensure that these programs reach the youth at the lowest administrative unit at the ward level, to ensure that the sensitization and the programs do benefit the youth, Honorable Speaker, and even using sports? Why do we have tournaments that are being funded by members of parliament individually and so forth. Why can the ministry itself run all sports tournaments for youths across all the wards, 1,800 wards in this country, so that even the programs can have higher penetration in terms of reaching out to the youth? Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Beatrice Akenya.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I needed to get from the CS. CS, Bona CS, do you think we handled the Gen Z issue in last year well? And in your opinion, as a ministry, what are some of the innovative ways in which we could have attended to their outcries?
Senator Newton.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question to the CS is on mental health for the youth. Exactly how does the ministry identify youths who have mental health challenges? And I ask that, Honorable Speaker, because what the youths have been going through in the last few months must have cost most of them challenges, seeing most of them killed and sometimes abducted. This must have caused a lot of mental stress and anguish. So how do you identify as a ministry youths that have mental issues, because we must prevent other than cure? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Chiranke.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sir, mine is on a follow-up on the issue of mental health among youth. Bwana Waziri, there were an issue that most of the young people that went on demonstrations, they were using hard drugs and substance abuse. As a ministry, there were allegations. Can you learn how the law operates, Senator Wambua? Mr. Speaker, you need to protect me. There were allegations that most of the young people, including the criminals and goons that were sponsored people known to Senator Wambua, were using hard substance and drug abuse.
Senator Fernandez, just proceed to withdraw and apologize to your colleague.
Mr. Speaker, I say best known to him. But
Senator
I withdraw and
Fernandez.
apologize. I withdraw and apologize so that we make progress. Mr. Speaker, I really wanted to find out the assessment of the Ministry of the Youth and Sports, whether some of the innovative agenda of addressing the grievances raised by the young people is part of making sure that there is mental wellness, Mr. Speaker, because we did pass the mental health bill in this floor of the House. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable CS, you may now proceed to respond.
Honorable Speaker, I must agree that the questions are very many. But I want to assure you I will respond to all of them, including the one that I had already responded to from the Senator of Kitui. I was in Kitui last Wednesday.
Proceed, Honorable CS. Proceed.
I was in Kitui on Wednesday last week. What we are doing in Kitui County is not a renovation. We are doing a fresh 10,000-seater stadium at Ithokwe. The contractor is on the ground. His name is called Milcons. So I want to confirm by the 6th of October, we will go back to take over that facility for Mashujaa Day celebrations.
Honorable CS, proceed to respond to
Now
the questions
I
related to
proceed.
mental health.
Now I proceed to respond to the other questions, because I had to set the record straight on that matter, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable CS, can you proceed to respond? Honorable Senator for Kitui, you're out of order, and I'm giving you a first question. Proceed.
Okay.
Honorable Wambua, kindly leave the chamber. Proceed, Honorable CS. Leave the chamber, Honorable Member for Kita. In the following 5 seconds, if you don't leave the chamber, Sergeant at Arms, help the member to leave the chamber. Proceed, Honorable CS.
So on the matters of mental wellness, which in most of the questions they have been combined with other general issues, I want to state that the ministry is not working alone on these matters. We are working with other government agencies, for example, on matters to do with drugs and substance abuse. We are working with NACADA and also the Ministry of Interior to identify and also to have remedies to address these matters. Number two, there was an issue in Nyakach. The honorable member wanted to know what we are doing in Nyakach sub-county on matters teenage pregnancies and mental health. Honorable Speaker, I want to state that currently I did come with data for Nyakach, but I want to confirm that this is a sub-county. We will also check the statistics and work with the agencies in that area to know the numbers, and then we address them. So this is an issue we are flagging and we are prioritizing in our next intervention. There was a question about youth fund. The Youth Enterprise Fund is still financing businesses for the youth. When they apply, they still access loans. And this question by Honorable Manzo, I also want to add that currently we are even supporting the labor mobility program, those youths who get jobs outside the country. We also support them through Youth Enterprise Fund to take care of the initial costs as they proceed to work abroad. Most of the other questions were relating to mental health. We have our Kenya Academy of Sports that also engages youth on matters mental health. And we are also working with the international NGO from Korea. The last month we had about 15,000 youth graduating from the weekend sessions that happen in Kasarani. And these youth come from across the county. And the main topic that is dealt with in those forums has to do with wellness and also mental health. So this is a program we are working together with this international NGO, and it is touching on almost all counties. So it's only that we have monthly sessions which bring on board youth from the different counties. So you might not see it on the ground because they do it here in Kasarani, fully funded by this NGO and the Ministry of Youth. And we have agreed to extend this program to even the lower levels in our county. So we are working together with this NGO. On the matters of youth generally in this country, I think there has been a specific reference to what is happening now and the Gen Z and all this. I also want to state that as a ministry, we have initiated a dialogue program called WAZO and Kikao, which brings on board the youth for an engagement, and this program is ongoing. It's only that we are resource constrained, but we keep expanding this program. So we have a WAZO and Kikao program as a dialogue model where we discuss with the youth on some of the issues that they are facing in their lives. Away from this, we are also working with the World Bank as partners in a program called Nyota, which also brings on board youth for recognition for prior learning. It also brings on board youth for business grants and also youth in skills development. Currently, we have youth who have applied because this program, we are targeting 800,000 youth in the country. And will, at the end of the training, for example, those who will go through the business training, they will be funded 50,000 to initiate their businesses. Those who will do the skills component, they will equally be funded to inspire their skills, and they'll be paid 6,000 stipend a month for 6 months to make sure that they stay in this program and also benefit. This is a program which is running across the country, and therefore it is part of what we are doing to enhance their capacity. So I think basically, Honorable Speaker, on all matters to do with the mental health, I think these are general issues that I've already handled. On the matter of identification, we also have the Kenya Academy of Sports that trains community referees and other coaches at the community level. And identification, some of it is done at school level, some of it is done at community level to ensure we bring them on board for training. And every training that is done for coaches, referees, and the community technical people, and the youth takes care of a mental health session, which is the one that handles most of the issues. One senator wanted to know my opinion. Do you think the Gen Z was handled well last year? I think this is a matter for discussion for all of us. I don't think I have a personal opinion on the handling of Gen Z, but I think my opinion and the position of the Ministry of Youth Affairs on matters youth is that the youth of our country are an opportunity that we can work together to transform our nation. However, for that to happen, youth therefore have to be connected to the strategic interventions, because youth have a career, youth have a dream, and I'm sure the dream is not necessarily for them to act negatively. The dream is for them to use their potential, to use their skills so that they can inspire their livelihood. And therefore, all interventions, government and non-government, should focus on working with young people to help them to realize their potential, to create an enabling environment for them to achieve their dreams. So anything else away from that is going to be negating their success. And that is why even the youth participating in the different athletes, we have also reviewed, because most of the mental challenges were to do with the financing. So we have actually also reviewed the award for athletics from April this year. We have approved the new rates. For example, the youth who will participate in Olympics, and they are able to acquire gold medals, instead of paying them 750,000, we have now graduated this to 3 million, silver from 500 to 2 million, bronze 300,000 to 1 million. Those who will participate in Commonwealth, gold now has moved from 500,000 to 2.5 million, silver from 300,000 to 1.5, and 200 and bronze from 200,000 to 1 million. So these are the new rates. Those who will participate in Youth Olympics and they win gold, we have moved the rewards from 300,000 to 500,000, silver from 200 to 350, and bronze from 100 to 150. So these are some of the measures we are using to inspire athletes and also to address hopelessness, to address mental challenges. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and I want to thank you most sincerely for giving me this opportunity to address the Senate. And finally, Mr. Speaker, there was one issue about tournaments. One member asked about what we are doing on matters tournaments. We have designed a concept, and we'll soon be launching government-funded tournaments from the ward level to the national level. And FKF is also working with all of us to see how we can regulate and support the youth on the ground. But we'll be running a league from the ward level to the national level, where then participation of youth will be very key. And I'm sure this is going to address some of the issues that you are facing where you are hosting individual tournaments. They are very expensive. They are not sustainable. So we'll be working with you in this new arrangement. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker and honorable members.
Thank you, Honorable CS. You are now free to leave to attend to other duties. Thank you. Clerk, you may now usher in the CS in charge of environment and climate matters. Honorable CS, welcome to the Senate. Now you're here to respond to question number 086 by the Senator from Murang'a County, and also question number 091 by the Senator from Marsabit. We will proceed with question number 086. Honorable Senator from Murang'a, kindly ask your question.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. These are my questions, or my question to the Honorable CS. One could the Cabinet Secretary explain why dumping of waste has been allowed to continue at an illegal site located at Mukara Junction, Muguru Ward in Kangema, Murang'a County, a site originally excavated by Lee Construction Limited during the construction of the Kiangunyi, Kefango, Mukarara Road in 2018. B, what immediate measures has the ministry put in place to address illegal dumping, particularly at sites obstructing public infrastructure, as the one near the county slaughterhouse and Tambaya village in Kangema, Murang'a County? And C, what long-term waste management and monitoring strategies does the ministry have to prevent environmental degradation and public health risks in residential areas across the country? I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable CS, you may now respond.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and honorable members for according us time to give answers to the concern. I would like to respond as follows. The solid waste disposal site at the Mukarara Junction in Kangema town is a county government of Murang'a's designated dump site for the solid waste generated from the town. Before the site was designated as a solid waste disposal site, it was an abandoned road construction material borrow pit. Designation of sites for solid waste disposal in the country is done by county governments. It is guided by the understanding that counties have no proper solid waste management facilities like landfills and material recovery facilities. The designated sites are required to start managing waste under agreed minimum requirements. The site is currently established, recognized, operated, and managed by the county government of Murang'a through the Department of Environment of the county government. It lies in a large public land estimated to be 200 acres. The management of the site, however, does not meet the expected standards. For example, there are no control measures to prevent dumping and spread of waste outside the disposal site. The site is not fenced or manned by county government officials. There is dumping of waste along the access road since the roads inside the site are not motorable because they are not maintained. The waste is not spread, not covered, nor compacted. There are no measures put in place to mitigate against fires or breeding of rodents and other nuisance. There is no environmental impact assessment for the site, no annual environmental audits. An inspection of the site was done by environmental inspectors from the National Environment Management Authority, and an improvement notice issued to the county government of Murang'a to improve on the management of the site. For question B, Honorable Speaker, the ministry, through the National Environment Management Authority, has issued several advisories to all the county governments and the Council of Governors on sustainable waste management. Some of the advisories include on 19th July 2024, where NEMA wrote to the county governors through COG advising counties to remove all wastes in undesignated sites and submit a zonation plan for waste collection and disposal areas. This is Annex 4, Management of Illegal Dump Sites. A reminder on the same was done on 30th August 2024, Annex 5, Reminder on Illegal Dump Sites. On 19th July 2024, a letter was sent to all county secretaries requesting them to ensure all waste is segregated, collected, and transported to designated waste handling facilities, Annex 6, advisory to the county governments. Specifically, the advisory requires the county governments to, number one, collect, handle, and transport waste and deliver it to facilities that are licensed and designated as per Section 7 of Environmental Management and Coordination, Waste Management Regulations of 2024, to establish waste management infrastructure to promote source segregation, collection, reuse, and set up material recovery facilities as per Section 9 of the Sustainable Waste Management Act 2022, waste transportation trucks not to carry mixed waste, reorganize existing dump sites to ensure there are separate reception areas for organic, general waste, residual waste from material recovery facilities, and landfill for unrecoverable waste. The reorganization will assist in reducing waste contamination and will enable recovery of valuables from waste. A reminder letter to all county governments was done on 18th June 2025, asking them to report to NEMA on progress made in reorganization of current dump sites to receive waste as per National Color Code. That is Annex 7, reminder letter on waste segregation. A public notice and letter to all waste transporters was done on 18th June 2025, requiring them to adhere to the National Waste Color Code and not to transport mixed waste. That is Annex 8, letter to transporters on waste segregation. On question C, Honorable Speaker, the Ministry has put in place a number of waste management and monitoring strategies to prevent degradation and public health risks in residential areas. These include the following: licensing of facilities and waste transporters, where NEMA licensed waste transporters as well as waste treatment and disposal facilities as per Environmental Management and Coordination Waste Management Regulations of 2024. The issued licenses have conditions used to monitor the status of licensed facilities and transportation vehicles in order to maintain the set standards. Secondly, awareness program where NEMA collaborates with county governments, including Murang'a County Government, on awareness aimed at changing public behavior with respect to management of waste at the household level, proper waste handling by waste handlers, that's transporters, aggregators, among others, and development of material recovery facilities. NEMA is actively involved in promoting and regulating material recovery facilities as required by Sustainable Waste Management Act 2022. NEMA has developed guidelines for establishing MRFs and is working with counties, including Murang'a County, to implement the guidelines. Various technologies, both manual and mechanical, are being promoted to separate different types of recyclable, like paper, plastics, metals, and glass, in order to ensure they are clean and ready for processing. Another way is the extender producer responsibility, where the Sustainable Waste Management, that is the Extender Producer Responsibility Regulations 2024, requires all producers to take care of the products introduced on the Kenyan market and waste arising therefrom. Using the EPR law, counties shall only be expected to be directly in charge of organic waste management, as the synthetic waste shall be managed by the producers. NEMA has started to educate and register producers of EPR. The producers are being held accountable for the environmental impact of their products throughout their life cycle. Producers, including manufacturers, importers, and brand owners, are obligated to register with NEMA and implement EPR schemes for designated products. For environmental audit and monitoring programs, NEMA has continued to engage county governments on an improvement program for solid waste dump sites through monitoring of the 10 minimum points. The 10 minimum points ensure the dump sites are adequately managed. This is Annex 1. Implementation of regulations of plastic waste. Plastic waste was identified as a very hazardous stream of waste that requires special attention, hence the enactment of the Environmental Management and Coordination, Management and Control of Plastic Packaging Materials Regulation 2024. And these regulations have established a framework for managing and controlling plastic packaging materials, promoting the use of environmentally friendly alternatives, and fostering recycling. NEMA has commenced enforcement of the plastic regulations. Honorable Speaker, the challenges in waste management at county level are several. We have challenges with counties which are at times adamant to undertake environmental impact assessment and annual environmental audits, making it very hard for NEMA to regulate. Counties are again adamant to license their waste transportation trucks with NEMA, and dump sites are neglected and have poor road networks, and this encourages illegal dumping. Counties are slow to embrace waste segregation at source and enforcement of the same. And there's lack of appropriate waste management infrastructure, such as material recovery facilities, recyclers, incinerators, and landfills. I submit, Honorable Speaker.
Madam CS, I will allow honorable members who have got supplementary questions to ask, and Senator Cherargei is not in. Senator Esther Kinyuri.
Honorable Speaker, it's my question. I have not asked for me to.
Senator Nyutu, you will have your moment to do so. I appreciate that this is your question, and I am in the process of highlighting the members who have made requests to ask supplementary questions. And I was confirming that Esther Ekinyuri, just take your seat, Senator. You've got Catherine Muma, right? Senator Tabitha, Senator Kajwang, and lastly, Senator Beatrice Akinyi, in that particular order. Before then I allow Senator Esther Kinyuri, I will ask the questioner, Senator Nyutu, to ask your 2 supplementary questions. Then I will go to Senator Esther Okinyuri.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I just need to seek clarification, further clarification from the CS, because from her response, one of the solutions that I have for monitoring of environment and waste management is through licensing. But this is done, I believe, on an annual basis. So what do we do in the interim, Honorable CS, through the Speaker? Because when things start going wrong and we only confirm at the time we are issuing the license for the following year, then in between there could be challenges. Honorable Speaker, the other issue I have with the response by the CS is I know, of course, I've gone through the response and seen that NEMA wrote to the County Secretary, Murang'a County Government, regarding this matter. But, Mr. Speaker, what happens if compliance is not achieved according to the response, according to to section 143 of EMCA, that whoever does not comply then is liable to a fine, let me not go to the details, to a fine or imprisonment. So in the interim, if the county secretary does not comply, what happens to the residents of Kangema because they are exposed to health risks other than the imprisonment and fine that may be liable to the county secretary? What happens then to the residents? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Madam CS, before you respond to that, I'll allow one senator again, Senator Esther Kinyuri, so that you cumulatively respond to the 2 questions. Senator Cherargei, I called you out. You are out of the chamber. Senator Esther Okinyuri.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mine is a further clarification on how deliberate the ministry is to tackle the issue of residential waste management, because the other time I was watching a clip on TikTok where the CEC, Geoffrey Mosiria, was trying to talk to residents in Pipeline Estate who are actually using waste and just dumping it right in front of their households, Mr. Speaker. What can the ministry do deliberately so that it's not just on the part of county governments, but also on the part of the households in those residential areas? Because her responses are quite theoretical but not in action? Because I've cited the case of Pipeline Estate, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Honorable CS, you may respond to those 3 supplementary questions, then we will progress to the others. Give the CS the microphone, please.
For Senator Muranga, the question regarding licensing on annual and basis and what do we do in the interim, we have asked counties to do an environmental impact assessment. And in the absence of environmental impact assessment, we also, again, issue improvement plans to the counties. As you are well aware, waste management is a devolved function. And so we can only issue the improvement notices and await the impact assessment to see how we can move forward. And for non-compliance, we continue to engage the counties. But as I have said earlier on, we've had multiple interventions. One of them that has recently come in is the EPR, the Extended Producer Responsibility, which again will support us in ensuring that we have the polluter pays principle. This is again the answer to Senator Esther. So when we have the producer paying principle, then we can have resources, and after segregation, we will be ensuring that the recycling occurs, say for instance, the recycling of plastics, among others, and we can be able to improve waste management in that aspect. Additionally, through the EPR, what we intend to do is to support the waste pickers, in terms of creating green jobs or clean jobs, and with working together with the county government, we believe that implementation of extended producer responsibility will support in terms of human resource, who will again support in segregation of waste and ensuring that our environments are clean and we are not exposed to health risks.
Senator Catherine Muma.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Even as I ask the question, Honorable Speaker, allow me to welcome the CS environment to the Senate, but also to bring it to her attention that whereas waste management is a county function, the national government has the responsibility to develop policy, to develop standards, to actually provide technical support, and to ensure that the enforcement of the standards, national standards, in this matter. So I am not particularly happy that everything is being thrown to counties, even though it's their responsibility. So what my question is, how active is the Intergovernmental Relations Committee for the environment sector, and what are the issues you've agreed with county governments, and what in particular are you working on, particularly for toxic waste like asbestos roofs? Thank you.
Senator Tabitha Mutinda.
Thank you, Speaker. Allow me also to take this opportunity to welcome the Minister for Environment, because the last time she was here, she was the Minister for Health. Welcome to Senate. Mr. Speaker, my question to the Minister is, in 2017, the government banned plastic in this country, both importation and local manufacturing. But still, as we speak, Madam Waziri, you realize that NEMA still gives exemptions especially to the potting bags in this country that are still being manufactured. The reason we still continue having drainages blocking still is because of the illegal manufacturing of the polythene bags, because still NEMA allows for manufacturing of potting bags or seedling bags in the agricultural sector. What is your plan as the minister in regards to ensuring that Kenya now focuses on the alternative of the biodegradable potting bags in this country, so that we completely eradicate the production and importation of the raw materials for plastic bags in this country? If you continue giving these exemptions, then when will we have the maximum alternative of the plastic bags in this country? I submit, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Moses Kajwang.
Mr. Speaker, I also welcome the CS to the Senate, and I look forward to further collaboration with her in my other capacity as the chair of the Climate Caucus. Mr. Speaker, Parliament played its role by passing the Sustainable Waste Management Act in 2022. Under the Act, the CS was given certain responsibilities. The Act established a council. Mr. Speaker, I would like to find out from the CS whether this Waste Management Council has been established, whether it is working, and what it has been able to achieve. Under the Sustainable Waste Management Act, the CS was also required to bring regulations to the House and was also required to publish model laws for county governments. I want to find out from the CS which regulations have been brought to Parliament, whether the CS has published the model laws, and how many counties have been able to successfully implement or enact those laws. And finally, Mr. Speaker, waste is gold in certain jurisdictions. When we went to Dubai, we found that they are converting solid waste into energy. We have seen countries where recycling is a big part. The circular economy is huge. Could the CS tell us what the policy position of the government is with regards to conversion of solid waste into energy, and the size of the circular economy in Kenya and the challenges that it faces? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Moses Kajwang, you noted that you asked more than 2 supplementary questions, and I let you do so intentionally by virtue of your position as the chairman of the Climate Caucus. Otherwise, ordinarily, the standing orders allows you to have only 1 supplementary question. Senator Samson Cherargei.
And I thought, Chair, Speaker, we should amend standing orders to include Climate Caucus as part of our committees. So, Speaker, with your indulgence, I want to also welcome Waziri. I think we were in Kaptagat and she did a good job. She's also sitting next to my voter, so I'll support her naturally because she's sitting next to my voter. Mr. Speaker, I want to ask the CS, we have agreed there are many policies on waste management. Our city, Nairobi, Mombasa, Eldoret, Kapsabet, Homa Bay, and all the towns and cities and urban centers are being choked by, including Bomet town, are being choked by waste. Mr. Speaker, the NEMA is seated here, and I hope I've seen the DG. What are they doing about illegal dumping and solid waste management in this country? Because whenever you drive, Mr. Speaker, you see waste all over. In fact, Nairobi is the worst. I think the county government and governor of Nairobi have left the waste to be all over, Mr. Speaker. And even in terms of estate solid waste management, Mr. Speaker, you and me know that you pay for your waste to be taken from your house wherever you live. Of course, I know where you live, Speaker, but I will not say it for the record. But, Mr. Speaker, we have to pay. Yet we have all these policies, Mr. Speaker. What is the ministry doing in fighting against illegal dumping, in solid waste management, Mr. Speaker? because this solid management, as the chair of climate action has said, it can be turned into gold. So can the CS give us a silver bullet on how to address this issue of illegal dumping and solid waste management, and possibly partner with other partners to ensure we can transform solid into something that we can use for the value of the economy? I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Beatrice Akinyi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, and for accepting that my head of delegation was able to give more than one question, and I think I will ride on that privilege that he has had as his delegation.
That is a
Honorable Speaker,
of the chairperson, Senator
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Speaker, I want to start by welcoming the CS, Madam Deborah, who we have worked with before, and in the delegation I also see a former DG of NEMA, Ayub Aiman, I worked with, and an officer was very passionate about environmental issues then. I hope he still is. Madam Honorable Speaker, my question is that how often does the CS engage with the counties as intergovernmental forum, as was envisaged in the Constitution 2010? Honorable Speaker, I notice a number of these issues are also touching on counties. And if the CS was engaging the counties on this meeting, a number of them would be thrashed. Honorable Speaker, I also wanted to know from the CS if the county environment committees are in place, are working, because NEMA is a member of that, and how staffed are their decentralized offices at the counties? Mr. Speaker, sir, because you only see one or two officers, which is not proportionate to the members that we have and to the service that we want offered. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Senator Manzo.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, to implement what is in C, the long-term waste management and monitoring strategies, I want to ask the CS what budgetary allocation does he have in this financial year to be able to implement all this which is asked in this question, because without a budget, really, it's not possible, Mr. Speaker.
Senator John Kinywa.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. When I'm here, I'm thrown off balance by the questions that my colleagues are asking in terms of waste management, because in the Waste Management Act 2021, the mandates are given to the county government unless, Mr. Speaker, these functions have been taken back to the national government. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Did you ask a question to the CS?
No. It's for the CS to tell me whether maybe these functions have been taken back to the national government.
Very well, thank you. And lastly, Senator Onyonka.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This matter is so weighty that I wish we had more time to interrogate it, but I believe that at some point we may have to. I wanted to ask the CS, in a nutshell, if you look at all the issues that has been brought up by either at that time, I'm talking about in the 80s and 90s up to now, at that time the issue was with municipal councils, then we had county councils, and then we've now come in where we have counties, and of course all these matters have been devolved, and I just want to come, Mr. Speaker, to the city of Nairobi. Why, Mr. Waziri, why are we not able, just as a people who are intelligent and reasonable, why are we not able to get a system which is self-sustaining, which is reasonably designed and made in such a manner like other countries do, so that we can manage our garbage? Isn't it, Waziri, because many of us in this house and elsewhere are the ones who are actually the ones collecting the garbage and making billions and billions out of it? instead of setting up basic infrastructure which is available. You even have donors, there are donors who want to give us some of these infrastructure so that we set it for free. And yet, every time an idea comes about how we are going to fix the issue of garbage in Nairobi, it dies somewhere. Same way, why are we not able to have...
Kindly be specific in the question you want to ask the Honorable CS.
Can the minister tell us whether the reason why Nairobi cannot collect its garbage and manage it is because of the corruption which is endemic in our government, in our county governments, and all the government departments which are involved in this? That's why we can't move.
Honorable CS, you now may proceed to answer the questions from the various senators.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker and honorable members. Yes, as a ministry, first of all, we've worked on the policy. We have strategies, we've had regulations that have been reviewed, which are really of international standards. But as you know, we at national level, it's all about policy. The implementers at the county level, since waste management is devolved. And one of the new regulations that we have passed, as I said earlier, was the extended producer responsibility, where the polluter pays principle. What does that mean? It means like the plastic bottles of soda. The producer must be able to see the life cycle of these plastic bottles. We should not find them in the rivers. We should not find them anywhere contaminating. So there is some money that should be given. They pay something because of the pollution. Now, these are the resources that we intend to use in order to improve waste management, and as Senator Onyonka has talked about, review the sustainability. I also want to inform the Chair of Climate that one of the things that we are also looking into is FLOCA, where we know that county governments are being given resources in order to implement FLOCA. One of the areas that they can also review is waste management. And so we'll be supporting them, guiding them in terms of establishing the material recovery facilities, and again ensuring that we are having circular economy implemented at county level. And so we've written advisories again to the counties, and we continue engaging with counties. Our meeting again is scheduled in the coming weeks, where we'll be meeting the governors to explain to them the EPR and see how we can implement. Again, one of the neglected and so-called vulnerable people are the waste pickers. And we are seeing how, again, we can incorporate them into these cooperatives so that we can ensure that there is sustainability, and we are empowering them and creating green jobs for Kenyans. So these are, again, deliberations we'll have at, with the governors. But for counties, we have the county directors routinely meeting. I believe there was a meeting 2 weeks ago where the NEMA team was able to meet them. And again, we continue supporting them even in matters of implementation. But yet again, they are the key implementers of waste management. Regarding the question of tackling residential waste management, as I had said earlier, it's really about convening the polluters. I think, you know, behavioral practices vary in communities. We cannot say, Honorable Esther, that we can tell everyone to change their behavior, but yet again, we can talk to the polluters. And yet again, we can capacitate human resources that can support us in training, whether it's at the school level, the community level, among others, in matters of waste segregation and matters of hygiene and reduction of health risks. And so those are, again, areas that we are looking into, engaging the polluters to see how they can support in improving the behavioral practices. But ultimately, it's about having the human resource capacity. When you're talking about sustainability, the human resource that are able to ensure that the environments are clean And this is through resources which can be found in the EPR, FLOC, and also resources that have been given to county governments. So they should be able to allocate some of the money for waste management, for establishment of material recovery facilities, for having the human resource, and implementing the rest. So the other question was Senator Muma, who asked, I think we've answered that we have strategy, regulations, and enforcement, and we have intergovernmental relations are strengthened, and we have routine meetings. We sent a gazette notice for asbestos, that is safe removal and safe disposal of asbestos in Kenya. But then we, cognizant of the fiscal space, some have been able to do that, others, national government, counties, again, are unable. So we are engaging Treasury and to support us in allocation of resources that will support in implementation of this. Equally, we are engaging partners who can support one way or another. But step by step, we are looking into the safe removal and disposal of waste. And we, again, have come up with guidelines to support in implementation of the same, as well as the strategies. So the next question was regarding banning of plastics. And NEMA provides exemptions for essential uses of food packaging, but EPR, again, should deal with the authorized bags. That is the polluters. In the EPR regulations, you'll notice that we are enforcing that they need to look at the waste that is being produced in matters plastic and ensure that a waste management, recycling of the same is done. We have developed a circular economy strategy, of which we are really finalizing and implementing, courtesy of partners, as well as the African Union. And upon once it has been passed, now we'll be encouraging circular economy in Kenya. So recycling of plastics will again be addressed in that area. But for the potting bags, what we are encouraging is biodegradable bags that have been meeting the standards of the Kenya Bureau of Standards. So far, we are still reviewing which one would be best suited for our environment, and again, working with the KFS and the State Department of Forestry to ensure that we move to the biodegradable bags. So far, we've not had the one that meets optimum standard. And I think if you could give us time, then we can give a comprehensive report of the bags that we have had so far. But it's something that we have tasked the foresters as well as NEMA to support in the same. For the Waste Management Council, it is being established very soon. And again, regarding the laws, we have developed model laws for the counties. And again, they should be able to use those laws. For us, is regulation and policies. The county is for implementation, since waste management is devolved. So again, it's critical to note, Senator Moses, you talked about circular economy. For us, 60% of the waste that we produce is organic waste, of which some can be utilized as fertilizer, and again, as a proportion can be used for methane production and also energy. So for waste to energy of this, the comprehensive, only 5% can be used for energy. Yeah, 5% of the waste. So conversion to energy is a limited amount. I think the focus should be mostly on fertilizers, because that incorporates 60%, and then around 30% is for plastics and recyclable materials, and only 5% is waste to energy. So based on the analysis that has been done in terms of the waste that has been produced in Kenya, then we are looking at the circular economy and what we can do in terms of recycling this waste based on that. So I think we've answered all the questions, and I highlight Senator Onyonka's question, self-sustainability. It is all about us looking in, and it's about us looking at what we have done is the extended producer responsibility, which we believe is a sustainable solution for Kenya. And for the county government, again, to address the other issues of corruption and cartel, even as we enforce, as NEMA, the implementation of waste management. Thank you.
Honorable members, we have eaten 15 minutes into the next questions time, and therefore the responses that we've received from the Honorable CS, save for what the question by Senator Manzo on the budget, whether you have allocated on this question. I haven't heard you responding to that. I will allow you, Senator Veronica. I had closed on questions and withdrawn all the same. I've noticed that you requested after I had closed on the question supplementary to the CS. On that one, Honorable CS, when you will be responding to the next question, please respond to the question as to whether you have got any budgetary allocation in the current financial year on the question by Senator Manzo. The next, Honorable members, you're going to is question 091, and Senator Mohamed Chute has authorized Senator Joe Nyutu to ask the question. I will proceed to allow Senator Joe Nyutu to proceed to ask question 091 on behalf of Senator Mohamed Chute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As we have rightly stated, I'm standing in for Senator Chute of Marsabit County. And the question by Senator Chute, A, is could the Cabinet Secretary provide the historical background on the introduction of Prosopis juliflora, commonly known as Madenge, in Kenya, including the actors or institutions involved, and explain the ecological or policy rationale that justified the introduction of the plant. B, what is the current extent of Prosopis juliflora spread across the country, and could the Cabinet Secretary identify the most affected areas, particularly in Marsabit County, where the species reportedly covers approximately 40% of range lands? And C, what short and long-term interventions has the ministry developed to contain or eradicate Prosopis juliflora, including projected timelines, budgetary allocations, and multi-agency or county-level plans aimed at the restoring affected rangelands, especially in light of its 2022 classification as a national security threat? And finally, Mr. Speaker, has the ministry undertaken or reviewed any scientific assessments on the viability of Prosopis juliflora for alternative uses? And if so, what are the findings or outcomes of such initiatives, including any ongoing or planned community-based projects that align with ecological restoration? I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable CS, you may proceed to answer question 091.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, thank you. So maybe to answer the question on illegal dumping first, the letter done to all counties, there was a letter done to all counties in July 2024 and a reminder sent in December 2024 about the same, and counties are adamant. So we continue to engage them for implementation. Regarding the budget, yes, we have inadequate budget to support NEMA operations in matters monitoring, evaluation, and inspection of site. Again, it's an area that we would want to advocate for to ensure that we are working on. So regarding the question on Prosopis juliflora, Honorable Speaker, the genus Prosopis belongs to the family Leguminosae, specifically the subfamily Mimosoidae. The genus has 4 genera and 44 species and several varieties, of which 40, including Prosopis pallida, are native to the American, mainly South American. In contrast, 1 is native to Africa, Prosopis africana, and 3 are native to Asia, Prosopis cineraria, Prosopis facta, and Prosopis coelziana. Honorable Speaker, Prosopis pallida was first introduced into Kenya in 1948 by the colonial government workers and planted in Taveta Township. It was a popular species and was widely planted in the larger Taveta County, then Taita Taveta District, and other parts of arid and semi-arid areas of Kenya, mostly in the 1960s to 1980s. The species is non-invasive and exhibits good stem.
Senate Majority Leader, Senator Nyutu, Senator Cherargei, order please. Allow the CS to be heard in silence.
Good stem forms and other growth characteristics, but slower growth rate. There is no clear documentation regarding the introduction of Prosopis juliflora into the country. It is suspected that it could have been due to taxonomic confusion with Prosopis pallida and Prosopis juliflora. The fast growth of Prosopis juliflora and adaptability to dry conditions made it more popular to communities in most of the 1980s and 1990s, where it was widely introduced to many districts such as Turkana, Baringo, Isiolo, Marsabit, Garissa, Tana River, Taita Taveta, Kajiado, Kilifi, Mombasa, Wajir, and Mandera, among others. Honorable Speaker, the El Nino weather phenomena of 1997 and 1998 led to the population explosion by Prosopis juliflora in all areas where it has been planted, thus making its invasive tendency visible for the first time in Kenya and Eastern Africa. The species has since invaded wetlands, grazing areas, irrigation schemes, and other areas of high conservation value, thus displacing pastoral communities over wide areas and other land use systems, causing poverty and helplessness. Regarding question B, to identify the most affected areas, Honorable Speaker, the most recent assessment of Prosopis juliflora cover is estimated at 1.12 million hectares in 22 counties. Turkana County is the largest, estimated at 361,000 hectares, while Marsabit has a Prosopis cover of 142,000 hectares. The most affected areas of Marsabit County are Loglogo, Moyale, Loyangalani, Maikona, Kor, North Hor, Malabot, Martidorop, and South Hor, among others. This is Annex 1. So, regarding the short and long-term interventions, Honorable Speaker, the ministry began responding to Prosopis challenge by jointly undertaking baseline studies between 2000 and 2002 to determine the status and the impact of the species in Kenya. A major output of the study was the first national workshop on integrated management and control of Prosopis species 2003 that led to the formation of the first national Prosopis task force in 2004, which was later transformed into a steering committee for the first pilot project on integrated management and control of Prosopis in Kenya. Baringo was used as a pilot site between 2005 and 2008. Members were drawn from key government ministries, environment, agriculture, livestock, education, including universities, lands, and international agencies such as WWF, CABI, ICRAF, UNEP, UNDP, and FAO, and several NGOs and CBOs. Representatives of the 6 affected counties, then districts, were also included, namely Baringo, Garissa, Mandera, Tana River, Turkana, and Taita Taveta. Honorable Speaker, the government is undertaking the following initiatives in the management of Prosopis species. For short-term interventions in 1999 to 2001, we conducted a national survey to determine the status and impact of prosopis species on livelihood and environment. The first sensitization workshop at the national level on integrated management and control of prosopis species was held in October 2003, and followed by a second one in 2007 and a third one in 2015. Several others at the county level in all the affected counties have been carried out in 2016 to 2024. Between 2004 and 2006, the government secured technical support from development partners such as FAO to undertake a pilot integrated management and control of prosopis. Activities included mechanical control through thinning and pruning, killing stumps, producing various products, and biological control. Expanded prosopis management skills from Baringo to other affected counties, starting with the most impacted such as Turkana, Garissa, and Tana River. And in 2009, piloted the production and marketing of prosopis charcoal in Garissa, Tana River, and Baringo counties, leading to the formation of Charcoal Producer Association. Again, the activities included facilitation of the formation of Charcoal Producer Association in affected counties to support sustainable production and trade in prosopis charcoal. Existing associations include Tana River, Baringo, Garissa, Kajiado, among others, annexed to. Strengthened community capacity to manage prosopis spread through training, field days, exposure visits, and the establishment of East Africa Center of Excellence in prosopis research in Marigat. And developed value chains on prosopis utilization in sawn timber, animal feeds, and human foods, biomass, energy, construction poles, charcoal, biocar, briquettes, wood, carvings, and honey production, among others. Charcoal production is the most popular value chain, which is estimated with an estimated annual value of 54 billion. In financial year 2024 to 2025, a draft prosopis strategy was developed through a series of workshops and meetings involving the larger stakeholders, including the Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Energy, Ministry of Devolution, Office of the Attorney General, and the Ministry of Interior. And it is now in the process of being finalized by end of financial year 25-26 by the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change, and Forestry in 2025. The list of activities have been annexed 3. The long-term interventions in financial year 2024-25, a draft national prosopis strategy and action plan 2025 to 2035 has been developed through a series of workshops and meetings involving the larger stakeholders, including the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change, and Forestry, Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Energy, Ministry of Devolution, Office of Attorney General, and the Ministry of Interior, FAO, ICRAF, Center for Agriculture and Bioscience International, that is CABI, Council of Governors, and community associations. It is now in the process of being finalized by end of financial year 25-26 by the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change, and Forestry in 2025. Honorable Speaker, the Ministry has also facilitated the interim piloting of the National Prosopis Strategy through the development of the county prosopis spatial management plans in Baringo, Isiolo, Marsabit, and Tana River counties. The county prosopis management plan aims at confining the invasion from further spreading while clearing invasion around key community assets that are endangered by the invasions. These include grazing areas, irrigation schemes, roads, livestock, watering points, and areas of high conservation values. The cleared areas are restored using pasture seeds or grass, cropping where irrigation is possible, and growing multipurpose trees to prevent reinvasion of prosopis. The county prosopis management plans for other affected counties such as Turkana, Samburu, Garissa, Kilifi, Kajiado, Taita Taveta, Wajir, Mandera, among others, will be developed as soon as the national prosopis strategy is formally launched. Regarding alternative uses, Honorable Speaker, yes, the ministry reviewed the scientific assessment on the viability of Prosopis juliflora for alternative uses, and the findings demonstrate a significant value in various areas. They include fuel wood, where Prosopis wood is an excellent source of firewood, offering a readily available energy option. Charcoal, where Prosopis charcoal has a high calorific value, ranging from 7.7 to 7.8 kilocalories, making it an efficient fuel source. The charcoal can also be processed into briquettes, providing a cleaner and more sustainable energy alternative. For commercial energy, the wood can be chipped and used for industrial steam, for electric power generation, and other heating needs. With the right technology, the species has potential for commercial exploitation for power generation. A Prosopis-based power generation plant using gasification technology was established in Baringo County in 2015, but failed at the piloting stage due to the impurity of the gas produced, that is methane. The investor overlooked the technical guidance required to remove impurities associated with high levels of tannins and other chemicals in Prosopis biomass. Briquettes and biocam, these two products can be produced from two processes as a byproduct of charcoal and commercial energy production, and from carbonizing the small diameter trees, twigs and branches, where Prosopis is being eradicated by mechanical means. The carbonized materials can be reconstituted into briquettes for fuel or used as biocam for soil conditioning and carbon storage. Construction materials. The strong and durable wood of Prosopis can be used for various building materials, including fence posts, construction poles, and furniture. Communities can utilize Prosopis wood for constructing shelters and fences. Prosopis produces very nutritious pods with high contents of proteins, carbohydrates or sugars, and minerals that can be a viable substitute for cereals as raw materials for the commercial production of livestock feeds. Prosopis pods are also edible by humans and do not have any anti-nutritional attributes. Milled Prosopis-based pod meal can be mixed with wheat at a proportion of 1:3 and baked to produce cakes, mandazis, and chapatis. Prosopis trees are evergreen and flower twice every year. Its flowers are very rich in nectar, and the honey produced is of high quality. However, the super high levels of sugar lead to frequent crystallization of honey, thus making it appear adulterated. Ongoing or planned community projects that align with ecological restoration, Honorable Speaker. There is ongoing capacity development of registered charcoal producer association in management and sustainable utilization of Prosopis tree biomass. This includes the introduction of modern charcoal making technologies to reduce gas emission and land restoration methods, among others. Through the framework of collaboration with partners, there are ongoing activities geared towards rehabilitation of degraded landscapes affected by Prosopis through the rollout of the County Prosopis Management Plan. The National Landscape and Ecosystem Restoration Strategy of 2023 to 2032, which underpins the 15 billion tree growing initiative, incorporates management and control of the spread of Prosopis, green jobs on Prosopis clearing and value addition of wood and non-wood product creation by the ILO-supported community projects, which are being implemented in Turkana, Garissa, Tana River counties annexed 4. The ministry and partners are also implementing other projects that are partly addressing the management of Prosopis juliflora in some of the affected counties. These include the FLOCA and the KEWASIP, that is Kenya Watershed Service Improvement Project, among others. Honorable Speaker, I submit.
Thank you, Madam CS. I will now allow 2 supplementary questions from Senator Joe Nyutu, if you do have, and thereafter the members who requested to ask supplementary questions will be given that opportunity. Senator Nyutu.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. As you had communicated, these are questions that came from the senator for Marsabit, Senator Chute. I may not have a very good understanding of Prosopis juliflora, but could the Cabinet Secretary say something about water hyacinth, because that's also another type of plant that is affecting our water bodies, and I believe it's under her ministry. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Veronica Maina.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I hope you will, with your permission, you'll indulge me to ask the question that I needed the CS to clarify on an issue she raised on the ministry search for a biodegradable bag in replacement of the plastic bags. And I wanted to know, because a very crucial question, whether the ministry has considered the alternative of encouraging and promoting the use of weaved baskets, weaved bags as an alternative for the plastic bags, even as you search for the biodegradable option of the biodegradable bags, so that the ministry can enhance an approach that then helps in creative industry and creates jobs in the course of searching for those bags, which then will go to the cottage industries, as opposed to concentrating with use of biodegradable bags, which may be produced by only one big factory. You can channel that energy and those resources towards generating employment, income, earning employment in counties like Murang'a, counties like Kitui, Makueni, where baskets are weaved, counties like Turkana. What is the approach that the ministry is taking towards that?
Senator Catherine Moma.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I'll request you indulge me to ask two questions since the supplementary questions did not come. Honorable CS, your answer is confusing to Kenyans. On the one hand, you say that there is a strategy on management and control of Prosopis juliflora, the Madenge plant, and then on the other hand, you've given a litany of the value of this plant, suggesting it is a good plant. CS, this plant, since introduction, I didn't hear you say the mess that it has caused in terms of the health of humans. When the thorns of the Madenge plant prick any human being, the wounds get inflamed so much, even to the animals. It has caused a lot of chaos, and I did not hear you speak to that bit. And the reason this question was put is actually because the communities do not see the value. And also, all the things that you said, the good things, are not happening in any of these counties. All that production is not happening in any of these counties. Madam CS, from 1999, it is 26 years since the environmental impact assessment was done, during Moi's time. I would have wanted to hear why the report of that environmental impact assessment is not being implemented 26 years later. And if you are doing something about it, I would have wanted to hear that in our time plan, we are intending to clear the Madenge plant by this time, following the following program. I have not heard that. Kenyans from those counties will not be clear on what exactly you're doing to actually manage, control, or eliminate the Madenge plant, which is causing chaos in those counties. Can you give a real timeline-related answer on what you are actually doing to ensure that the Madenge plant is moved away?
Senator Manzo.
Mr. Speaker, I want to ask the CS whether the Madenge tree is scientifically manufactured tree? And if so, what are they going to do to eliminate it? Luckily, I've not seen it in Makueni, but I know when animals eat it, Mr. Speaker, they lose their teeth. So is this scientifically manufactured, or is it a natural tree, and what are they going to do to eliminate it?
Madam CS, you may take the floor to respond to those supplementary questions.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members. So regarding the hyacinth, I kindly request that we convene at the team to review and give a comprehensive report, as has been given for prosopis. For Senator Minor, you talked about biodegradable bags, and we really appreciate your observation with regards to this. We also welcome all options, including the cottage, the weaving, among others. As I had said, research is ongoing to see which is the best in terms of acting as a seedling, and that again after planting, that is biodegradable at the right time. And so we are welcoming all these options as the ministry looks at and evaluates the various potting bags. Senator Muma, yes, for prosopis, first of all, it's important to note that it was introduced to address desertification. But while addressing desertification, what we've noticed is that the invasion has increased and it's proliferating and affecting various areas. So getting rid of it absolutely will again reintroduce deserts within our country. And so what we are doing is really managing it, looking at the commercial value and managing so that it does not spread. Yes, indeed, Senator Manzu, a lot of scientific research has been conducted. Some of the research looks into utilization of pests or insects to manage it. However, you know, this can again have a ripple effect. So we need to be careful even as we look at management. Right now, what has worked is what we had talked about, the pruning, among others, controlling and managing the prosopis. As we look at the commercial value and improve the value chains and also improve communities and livelihoods by utilizing the same. So again, we are looking at reviewing other scientific interventions which can be contextualized to our setting without affecting the environment.
Yes, Senator Manzo.
I've asked whether it is a natural tree or scientifically manufactured tree.
Madam CS.
Yes, Senator Manzu, it is a natural tree.
You've heard the CS responded as to the question by Senator Manzo. Do you have a specific timeline, Madam CS, on what action plans you have as a ministry in response to the question by Senator Muma?
Yes, we will have that by October.
Very well. Thank you, Madam CS. I think that brings us to a close of the question time and questions to the Honorable CS. That was question 091 by Senator Joe Chute. And Madam CS and your team, thank you for honoring the invite and for the responses that we have gotten. You are now discharged, and we wish you a great afternoon. Honorable members, now with that closure on the questions, clerk. Senator Veronica Mena, could you approach the chair? Honorable Senators, for the convenience of the business of the House, I will rearrange the order paper so that we call order number 11. Clerk, please call out order number 11.
Order number 11, motion, report of the Parliamentary delegation to the 2024 Joint United Nations Interparliamentary Union Parliamentary hearing held at the United Nations headquarters in New York, United States of America from 8th to 9th February 2024.
Senator Veronica Mena.
Honorable Speaker, allow me to move the House to present the report of the Parliamentary delegation to the 2024 Joint United Nations Interparliamentary Union hearing at the United Nations headquarters at New York, United States of America, that was held on 8th to 9th of February 2024. Honorable Speaker, we live in a world where conflicts within and between the countries are on the rise, resulting in suffering and deprivation for millions of people, as well as a deep sense of uncertainty in the future, particularly among young people. And today, we are compelled more than ever to act urgently to restore the conditions for peace, social justice, good governance, and respect for international law. And this situation must be the one that drove the gathering that joined the Joint United Nations and the Interparliamentary Union IPU 2024 parliamentary hearing that was held under the theme Putting an End to Conflicts, Prescriptions for a Peaceful Future at the United Nations UN headquarters in New York on 8th and 9th of February 2024. And the hearing, Honorable Speaker, called IPU member parliaments to acquaint themselves with one of the priorities for the current presidency of the UN General Assembly, peace, as well as the IPU priority focus in 2024 on international peace and security. The Kenyan delegation to this meeting comprised of the following: myself, Senator Veronica Maina, Member of Parliament and Leader of Delegation, Honorable John Makali, Member of Parliament, and Honorable Anne Muratha, Member of Parliament from the National Assembly. The hearing sought to bring parliamentarians up to speed with one of the key components of the Pact for the Future, the expected outcome document of September 2024 UN Summit of the Future. This hearing was inspired by the resolution Rethinking and Reframing the approach to peace processes with a view to fostering lasting peace, adopted by the 144th IPU Assembly in March 2022, as well as the follow-up to the United Nations, our Common Agenda report, including one of the UN Secretary General's policy briefs on the proposal for the new agenda for peace. The hearing was an opportunity for parliamentarians to take stock of what ails the world today and the respective nations, and to commit to actionable solutions for the international community and national actors, and to bring to light some of the recommendations that were developed within this conference, parliaments to develop or domesticate international treaties, standards to guide the responsible use of artificial intelligence and other emerging technologies in military and security contexts. This should include measures for transparency, accountability, and protection of civilians. Parliamentarians also to advocate that a significant portion of climate finance reaches the most vulnerable countries and communities, while integrating climate security into international peace and security agenda to address the root causes of climate-related conflicts, and also parliamentarians to advocate for their countries to establish concrete measures such as reserved seats and transparent selection criteria to ensure the meaningful participation of women and youth in peace negotiations, and additionally to support civil society organizations, particularly those advocating for women and youth rights, with adequate funds and resources, and also to encourage parliaments to leverage their diplomatic channels to build trust and facilitate dialogue in conflict regions, foster regular engagement with international parliamentary organizations, and support initiatives that promote peace and conflict resolution, and also to advocate for the adoption and implementation of the proposal outlined in the new Agenda for Peace at the 2024 Summit of the Future, focus on reforming global governance structures, particularly the UN Security Council, to make them more representative and effective in addressing contemporary security challenges, and also to urge the inclusion of parliaments as key institutions under the Transforming Global Governance chapter of the Pact for the Future. And Parliament should actively engage their missions to the UN to ensure this inclusion as part of their negotiation, emphasizing the critical role they play in addressing contemporary global challenges. Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the delegation that attended to this important activity, I wish to take this opportunity to thank you for the support of ensuring that Kenya was duly and variably represented at this meeting. Honorable Speaker, Article 7 of the IPU statutes mandates members of the IPU to submit the resolutions of the IPU within their respective parliament in the most appropriate form to communicate them to the government, to stimulate their implementation, and to inform the IPU Secretariat as often and fully as possible, particularly in its annual reports of the steps taken and results obtained. Now, in accordance with Article 7 of the Statutes of the IPU, it's my pleasure and very humble duty to submit this report highlighting the full discussions of the joint United Nations, UN, and the Interparliamentary Union IPU 2024 parliamentary hearing to Parliament for noting and for taking the necessary action. Let me also take this opportunity, Honorable Speaker, to commend the then ambassador, Ambassador Kiboino, who received the Kenyan delegation very well, and he was at advanced stages of negotiating the country's position on the new agenda for peace, and to say that he welcomed the delegation very well and was able to brief and support the delegation throughout the process that we had, Honorable Speaker. And some of the other key points that I would want to highlight that were subject of discussion during this process was the financing for peace building, enhancing the role of Peace Building Commission, reforming the global peace and security architecture, looking for good offices, mediation for nuclear armed states, building peace and capabilities from the ground up, managing diversity in state building and peace building, disengagement and reintegration of violent extremism, peer review mechanism for conflict prevention and transition, strengthening regional organizations that then support in maintaining of international peace and security, developing standards for new technology, where the mission proposed the development of a UN-driven treaty, all standards to guide the responsible use of artificial intelligence in military and security applications, and this would ensure transparency, accountability, and protection of civilian, effective implementation of disarmament instruments. The mission urged the implementation of existing disarmament treaties and obligations to achieve the total elimination of nuclear weapons. He called on nuclear weapon states to adopt new security doctrines devoid of nuclear weapons and calibrated application of sanctions, which was a call for smart, objective, targeted, and context-specific sanctions that avoid unintended socioeconomic and humanitarian consequences, and also emphasizing on the need for review to ensure effectiveness of sanctions and minimize adverse impact. Honorable Speaker, to consider the future of peace and security, the good intentions of implementing such a report are very critical for Parliament, and it's my very humble duty and pleasure, Honorable Speaker, to present this report, submit it. It will be available for the members for its full content and application of the full text. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Veronica, just
and so I move the report. Thank you.
Senator Chimera.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as I rise to second the motion by Senator Veronica Maina, let me first begin by appreciating and commending the delegation that attended this particular high-level IPU meeting. Mr. Speaker, personally, I am also a member of IPU, and we recently just came from, if my mind serves me right, Uzbekistan in Tashkent, for a high-level discussion, Mr. Speaker, on parliamentary action to social development and justice, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, if you notice the conversations that IPU undertakes, Mr. Speaker, these are fairly high-level conversations. They are thematic areas that as leaders, as politicians, as individuals, we are not able to individually legislate upon. And it's incumbent that when we attend this session, Mr. Speaker, it's not just for the idea of traveling out of the country, Mr. Speaker, but to go discuss and get much more detailed information on very many other areas in terms of the topical agenda and setting global peace and security as part of our agenda in the country, Mr. Speaker. Let me really applaud the delegation from Kenya for a job well done. And I know the report has serious contents. I want to take this chance to appeal to my colleague senators to take a minute and read that particular report. It is very informative. The discussions that go on in IPU, Mr. Speaker, are mind-blogging and set the stage towards legislating on matters that have a global effect and the agenda on our people. For those many remarks, Mr. Speaker, I beg to second, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Senators, I now propose the question that the Senate notes the report of the Parliamentary delegation to the 2024 Joint United Nations Inter-Parliamentary Union Parliamentary hearing held at the United Nations headquarters in New York, United States of America on 8th to 9th February 2024, laid on the table of the Senate on Tuesday, 17th of September 2024. Now, honorable members, there seems to be no one seeking to Honorable members, I've noted that there are no members who are contributing. I'll call upon the mover, Senator Veronica, to reply and seek to defer the putting of the question to a later date.
Honorable Speaker, thank you for the opportunity to reply, and I want to thank Senator Chimera for the opportunity he has taken to second this report. Matters of peace are very crucial, and it is important when we see that Senator Chimera, in seconding this report, also represents the youth in this nation. And Honorable Speaker, we cannot talk of any peace or any security for the future without mentioning the youth. In fact, the future of peace, security, and stable communities and stable nations is in the hands of the youths. And at this crucial time in the Republic of Kenya, these reports become a focal point which should be read by everybody, even beyond the senators who are within the House. The youths must be able to engage with the processes that are being done at a global level, at a continental level, at a regional level, at a local level, even up to mashinani. Because without versing themselves with the efforts that are being made worldwide and globally to secure the peace, our future will be at risk, Honorable Speaker. So I want to thank Senator Chimera and the team, the delegation that represented our nation ably at the United Nations. And I want to say, I beg to reply and pray that we all maintain peace in our republic, and know that without peace, there is nothing that can be done to foster development in our nation. I beg to reply. And I request that, Honorable Speaker, that the question be deferred to a later date.
Honorable
Putting of the question be deferred to a later date.
Putting of the question on this matter is deferred, pursuant to Standing Order 66, to a later date. Honorable Senators, order number 8, Senator Mandago, who is the chairperson of Health. This is report on the Standing Committee on Health. He is not in the House. That motion is deferred. Order number 9, similarly, the chairperson Standing Committee on Health is also absent. That motion is deferred. Order number 10, the chairperson liaison committee is also absent. That motion is deferred. Order number 12, the chairperson parliamentarians dialogue at the Parliamentary Climate Caucus is also absent. That motion is deferred. Order number 13, Senator Catherine Muma is not present in the House. That motion is equally deferred. And lastly, order number 14, motion on the 67th Commonwealth Parliamentary Association. Senator Jackson Mandago, who was the mover, is also absent. That order is equally deferred. We now may rise. Now, Honorable Senators, there being no other business on the order paper, the Senate stands adjourned until later today, Wednesday, 23rd of July, 2025, at 2:30 p.m.
They are seen by the consultants, they will only be written as small paper and they are referred to go to the private facilities where they could get other more investigations like X-rays, like blood investigations, and even for pharmacies for the drugs that the patient would require. That means, Madam Speaker, that there is a big gap in our public facilities, and the introduction of SHA by our president and the passing of the laws that support implementation of SHA by this House is really coming to be a great support to our health facilities. And I want to call upon the government, the county governments, the governors who are in charge of the county government to give a lot of attention to the healthcare provision at the county levels. Because the introduction of SHA, Madam Speaker, is going to be a relief even to the county government. Because the implementation of SHA is going to ensure that services from level 1 to 4 is going to be free. And the money that is going to be remitted to the health facilities is going to help in the improvement of our facilities, even in procurement of the products or commodities that the health facilities will require. So I want to encourage and ask the governors and the people in charge of the health facilities at the public institutions to be serious, because the provision is poor, the treatment of patients is not acceptable, even the food, the hygiene is really worrying. And I want to ask that this is going only to be possible if the county governments are going to be serious on what they are doing in terms of provision of healthcare facilities. The ones taking care of our facilities at the county levels are qualified staffs. So the only thing they require to have is the commitment to the service to the wananchi. Because what we are seeing now, Madam Speaker, is really worrying. And that is what is encouraging even people to run away from the public facilities. But since now they are getting a lot of money from the national government, they are going to get a lot of support from SHA. The only thing we require is commitment and supervision, and also ensuring that staffs who are employed by the government should first give priority of their services to the public facilities. And this will ensure that the services will improve and our wananchi will get what they are supposed to get from our facilities. Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I want to donate time for other members who have not spoken. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. If you can go that way, more of you will speak. The Honorable Jackson Lekumo Ntare, member for Samburu East.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I also want to add my voice in this motion. And Madam Speaker, health is very important to all Kenyans. And we really need to take bold steps, Madam Speaker, so that the Kenyans will get health services. Universal health coverage, Madam Speaker, it is required every individual in Kenya to be able to access the health services. And Madam Speaker, there is this issue of SHA. SHA is working, and Madam Speaker, it is not solving all the problems of Kenyans. Even if, Madam Speaker, it is there, But you can imagine, Madam Speaker, Kenyans are going to the hospitals which they are not getting services. Madam Speaker, the health in the country is wanting. And there are no services in these public hospitals. And Madam Speaker, I even interacted with a patient in my constituency who went to hospital and they were told to go and even get that injection for somebody to be operated. And I wonder, Madam Speaker, even if we make mandatory to civil servants to go to get services there, but there are no those services, Madam Speaker. And I think the civil servants, people are even contributing for their services. And we cannot force people to go where there are no services. And I think, Madam Speaker, the county government must work so that the services be available in the hospitals. Madam Speaker, even the contribution of SHA, it differs from one person to another, even the people who are really not able to pay. And I heard, Madam Speaker, when this SHA started, I think there was a group that the government said they will pay for those who are not able to pay. This is the time now, Madam Speaker, the government will bring that modality of helping other Kenyans. We have heard that nowadays people are paying the whole year. People who are not able to raise the money required. And I think, Madam Speaker, if there is that group, that category, that the government of Kenya intending to pay for those who are not able to raise, then this is the time now they have to come in and help. And I think what is very important is the services to be available. And this is a good motion, Madam Speaker. But I think let us not go that direction of making it mandatory for civil servants to go and maybe to pay the insurances in those hospitals. Because unless the services are there, and I think the primary purpose of any insurance is for the person having that insurance, not the hospital. And we cannot force people to go and get services where there are no services. So, Madam Speaker, I just want to say that is very important. The personnel, and Madam Speaker, one issue here. There are private clinical hospitals and all that. But I don't know, Madam Speaker, I don't know whether this conflict of interest work when it comes to medics, because you find that somebody who is employed by the government is again working in another place and maybe owning those clinical hospitals and all that. So I think, Madam Speaker, that is another problem, and I want just to say I support, and that is my contribution, so that I can save time for other members. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Robert Basil, member for Yatta.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me the chance to contribute to this motion. Partially, I support the motion, and I have reasons why I support it partially. If you look at Sustainable Development Goals, number 3, we talk of good health and well-being, and Article 43 of the Constitution talks of right to quality health care. However, if you look at our public hospitals, they don't provide such quality health care simply because they are in deplorable state, Madam Speaker. Therefore, Madam Speaker, we must improve rural hospitals and public hospitals for that matter, Madam Speaker. Because the reason we have increased mortality rate, Madam Speaker, is because our public hospitals are completely unable to provide quality health care, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, if you ask members of parliament, most of us go to private hospitals. Why do we go to private hospitals? It's because private hospitals have all essential ingredients, the infrastructure required to support quality health care, which is lacking in public hospitals, Madam Speaker. Therefore, in a nutshell, we must allocate adequate resources.
I have a point of order. Order, Honorable Basil, I'll come back to you. What is out of order, Honorable Sabina Chege?
Madam Speaker, I just wanted to ask whether it's in order for the Honorable Member to mislead the House that the private facilities have everything that we need. I'll urge the Honorable Member, after this session, take a drive, go to Kenyatta University Teaching and Referral Facility.
Are you informing him?
I am informing him.
So I would like to ask him whether you'd like to be informed. Do you like to be informed?
Yes, she can inform me. I'm listening.
You can make it quick, Honorable
Very
Sabina.
quick, because that is the notion that is out there, that our public facilities don't have what it takes. I would urge you, and even any other member, even when you're doing your medical checkup annually, visit the Kenyatta University Teaching and Referral. We do not have such a facility in Kenya or East Africa. So we have the best, and we can even make the others the best. We can't say we will not go to public hospitals because they are in deplorable positions. We have the chance now to improve our public facilities. I thank you for agreeing to be informed.
Madam Speaker, I appreciate the information coming from Honorable Sabina Chege, but I want to tell her that Kenyatta National Referral Hospital, in theory, is a public hospital, but in practice, is very expensive, Madam Speaker. I've had bodies in that hospital who have been detained for more than 3 months because the bereaved family are unable to raise the exorbitant fees that are charged there. We have had a chance, or I've had patients from my constituency who have been unable to be cleared from that hospital because of huge medical bills. So the fees charged by Kenyatta National Referral Hospitals are equivalent to what is being charged in private hospitals. That's why I'm saying the public hospital we are talking about, these are the rural dispensaries, these are the hospitals like Kenyatta National Hospitals, where a majority of the poor are going to, and which are affordable. But unfortunately, they lack the basic infrastructure to support quality health care, Madam Speaker. Therefore, what I was saying, one, it was a mistake to devolve health, Madam Speaker. We should consider taking health back to national hospitals. Madam Speaker, it's also important to understand that the remuneration given to staff in public hospitals is waning. And that is why the staff who are supposed to serve our people in public hospitals are demoralized, Madam Speaker. We have seen them demonstrating, coming to Parliament, seeking for better pay, Madam Speaker. So it's important to underscore that. Otherwise, the motion becomes more of a theory or more of an hypothesis as opposed to being a practical motion that can apply in our country, Madam Speaker. So allow me to submit so that I can now allow other members to contribute.
Thank you very much, Member for Yatta. The Honorable Kasim Tandaza, Member for Matuga.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika kwa kupata fursa hii. Kwanza nianze kukubali kwamba hii ndio itakuwa dawa ya kusuluhisha matatizo ya hospitali ya umma. Kwa sababu kuna msemo ambao unasema kiatu usichokivaa huwezi kujua kinakufinya wapi. Kitanda usichokilalia huwezi kujua kama kina kunguni ama hakina. Sisi tulioko hapa kama wabunge tunazungumzia kwamba tungetaka wananchi wale wa kawaida wapate huduma bora katika hospitali. Lakini kama sisi wenyewe hatuendi kule, tukaona vile hali ilivyo, basi moja kwa moja hata yale tunayoyazungumza kwamba tungetaka tuwe na fedha tuzipeleke haitakuwa. Ikiwa magavana wetu ikifika wakati wa kuumwa wanaenda Ulaya, na wao ndio ambao wana fedha za hospitali, wao ndio ambao wanatakikana waweze kuweka vifaa katika hospitali, basi moja kwa moja fursa hii ya kuwa hospitali zetu zitakuwa bora, ndio sisi tuende, haitawezekana. Ni sisi tuende ndio tuweze kuziboresha, na nafikiri hiyo ndio maana ya huu mswada, kwamba ili hospitali za umma ziweze kuboreshwa, basi wafanyajikazi wote wa serikali pamoja na wabunge pamoja na maofisa wengine, hata rais aweze kuhudumiwa katika hospitali hizi, na ndio hapo zitaweza kuboreshwa. Ningetaka kumalizia na swala la ugatuzi kwa upande wa afya. Hili ni jambo ambalo litokee na limesaidia kiasi kikubwa. Nitakuwa mfupi nikisema kwamba katika kaunti ya Kwale ile ninayotoka mimi, kwa miaka 60 ya uhuru wa nchi hii hatukuwa na mahali hata pa upasuaji, lakini kwa sababu ya ugatuzi sasa tuna hospitali takriban 4 ambazo zinatoa huduma ya ugatuzi. Hatukuwa na mahali kwa chumba kile ambacho kinaitwa ICU cha wagonjwa mahututi. Kwa hivi sasa tuko navyo. Kwa hivyo yule anayezungumza kwamba inahitajikana iregeshwe katika serikali kuu, nafikiri yeye labda anaishi kwa ulimwengu mwingine ama hajatembea katika zile counties ambazo zilikuwa zimeachwa pale mbeleni. Lakini mfumo huu unasaidia, na sitakuwa nimefanyia uhaki ikiwa sitaweza kuchukua fursa hii kupeana kongole kwa rais wetu kwa kuleta huu mfumo upya wa SHA ambao unaweza kutoa pesa nyingi, isipokuwa matumizi yake ndio yanakuwa ni mtihani, na suluhisho yake ni sisi kuweza kuenda katika hivi vituo na kuangalia na kukabiliana na yale mapungufu yaliyoko pale. Asante Mheshimiwa Speaker, naunga mkono hoja hii.
Thank you. The Honorable Cynthia Muge, member for Nandi County.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity to contribute to this motion that has been brought to the floor of this House by the Honorable Sabina Chege. Honorable Speaker, I appreciate her thoughtfulness in this, because, Honorable Speaker, healthcare is a matter that is dear to each and every one of us. And, Honorable Speaker, I must say that I appreciate the boldness in Honorable Sabina, because she has been able to aptly point the fingers at the right place. She has been able to state and mention the public servants, whom I'm included, Honorable Speaker. And, Honorable Speaker, if you look at the responsibilities that we take as public servants in whatever capacity that we serve in, Honorable Speaker, this is the team that is entrusted with the allocation and management of funds that go into the public sector. And, Honorable Speaker, I think it is just and fair that we have these people who have the responsibility of allocating and managing the funds to be able to feel the impact of their decisions, Honorable Speaker. And I don't think there is any other better way, Honorable Speaker, of having the public servants, the decision makers, be able to feel the results or oversee the results of the decisions that they have made. Honorable Speaker, I also see this as a proper incentive of improvement. We have spoken as members of this House, Honorable Speaker, to the matters and the issues that are affecting healthcare, including our displeasure about devolution of healthcare. Honorable Speaker, they normally say whatever has gone should be allowed to be water under the bridge, because probably we could reverse the decision, but as it is, we cannot reverse the decision, Honorable Speaker. So what we should do as a leadership is to find proper solutions to make sure that healthcare, while at the counties, or that while it is being managed at the counties, Honorable Speaker, not only works, but becomes affordable and to the people, Honorable Speaker. Lastly, Honorable Speaker, the reason why we have issues with public facilities is because of something called public confidence. The public, Honorable Speaker, has lost confidence in public facilities. One of the contributing factors of the public losing confidence in those public facilities, Honorable Speaker, is because most of the time, us, the decision makers, do not partake of those public facilities or do not use them, Honorable Speaker. And I want to support this motion. Of course, Honorable Speaker, there is a lot that needs to be done so that we can be able to get proper and quality healthcare services in the public facilities. And, Honorable Speaker, I join in the members, in the comments of the members that have been made, Honorable Speaker, that this country has to make sure that the health facilities that are public work. That way, Honorable Speaker, we can then be able to make healthcare affordable. And I want to appreciate the coming in of SHA. so that in this year, Honorable Speaker, we can finally have the facility improvement fund working, and we can finally have the facilities down there that are called rural, Honorable Speaker, be able to have their money, be able to manage their issues, and be able to serve the people better. So, Honorable Speaker, I support this particular motion, and it must be noted, Honorable Speaker, that this is not, does not have an objective of exposing anyone to suffering, but it is a proper wake-up call to the leadership and to the servants in this country, Honorable Speaker, that healthcare must be accessible and must be affordable and must be up to proper standard so that the people of Kenya can be healthy. And a healthy nation, Honorable Speaker, will be a healthy nation going to the future. I support, Honorable Speaker. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. The Honorable Janet Citiene, member for Turbo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to add my voice to this motion brought by Honorable Sabina Chege, and I would want to thank her for bringing this very important motion. Honorable Speaker, a healthy nation is a strong and stable nation, and therefore every person having a right to the highest attainable standard of health is a very important aspect. And therefore, I want to support this motion and request that we increase the funding for health, for our health care in this country so that we can be able to get quality health care services to our people and ensure availability of drugs in the hospitals, all hospitals from level 1 across board, ensure that their drugs are available. And Honorable Speaker, I would also want to support that we build the confidence in our institutions by ensuring that the public servants actually go to these facilities, which by doing so, we will be oversighting these institutions. Once we are there, we will even stop the doctors hopping from one private facility to the other to provide services, whereas they should be providing the services in the hospital
Order,
that they have been.
Honorable Janet. I know that there are members who would have really wanted to participate in this motion. The Honorable Charles Ngusi Anguna, the Honorable Kwenya, the Honorable Wilberforce Oundo, the Honorable Ibrahim Sanei, the Honorable Catherine Omanyo, among a few others. But it's unfortunate that now time is up. Honorable members, you have a balance of 8 minutes, Honorable Sitene, so you are free to come and participate another time. Honorable members, and the time now being 2 minutes past 1 p.m., this House stands adjourned until today, Wednesday, 23rd July 2025 at 2:30 p.m.